It was supposed to be a normal evening. Daniel Harper stood in line at a small grocery store holding cereal and milk. Beside him, his 6-year-old daughter Lily swung her legs back and forth while humming a song she had learned at school. For Daniel, small moments like this meant everything. Life hadn't been easy after losing his wife unexpectedly 2 years ago. The quiet house had become filled with responsibilities he never imagined handling alone. But Lily was the reason he kept going. That evening she had asked for her favorite cereal with a kind of hopeful smile that was impossible to refuse. The store was calm and quiet. Daniel placed the items on the counter. The young cashier, Emily, stood behind the register. At first everything seemed normal. But then Daniel noticed something strange. Her hands were shaking, not just a little. They were trembling so badly that the scanner beeped twice before she managed to scan the cereal box correctly. Her eyes kept darting toward the front door of the store, every few seconds, like she was watching someone. When she reached for the milk carton, her hand slipped and it nearly fell. Daniel instinctively caught it. Emily froze. Daniel gave her a calm smile and asked, "Hey, are you okay?" For a moment she didn't respond. "I'm fine," she said quickly, forcing a small smile. But Daniel could tell she wasn't. Lily tilted her head and looked up. "Miss, why are your hands shaking?" Emily suddenly looked at the little girl. She leaned forward and whispered, "Please, don't turn around. The man near the entrance. He's been watching me for an hour." Daniel carefully glanced toward the freezer door beside the register, using the reflection in the glass. There he was, a tall man wearing a black jacket and a dark baseball cap, watching Emily. "Do you know him?" Daniel asked quietly. Emily's voice trembled. "He's my ex. I left town months ago to get away from him. He wasn't supposed to find me." Daniel felt anger rising inside him. No one deserved to feel trapped. He slowly reached into his pocket and pulled out his phone. He pretended to check a message, but instead dialed 911. He spoke calmly, pretending to talk about grocery prices while describing the situation. Then suddenly she whispered, "He's moving." The man had started walking toward the checkout counter. Slowly, deliberately, Daniel placed one hand calmly on the counter. "Stay calm," he said. The man stopped directly in front of them. His eyes locked onto Emily. A cold smile appeared on his face. "Well, look who I found." Daniel stepped forward. "Can I help you?" The man's eyes narrowed. "Move." Daniel didn't move. "Actually, I think you should leave." Daniel met his gaze without blinking. "Just someone who doesn't like bullies." At that exact moment, the sound of police sirens echoed outside the store. 2 police officers walked through the entrance and arrested the man. Emily covered her mouth with both hands. Tears streamed down her face. A few minutes later, Emily walked toward Daniel. "Thank you," she said quietly. Daniel smiled softly. She shook her head. "If you hadn't asked about my hands, I don't know what would have happened tonight." Daniel chuckled softly. Sometimes all someone needs is for someone to notice. Emily wiped her eyes. Her hands were finally still, because sometimes a simple question can change everything. And sometimes heroes are just ordinary strangers who choose to care. Because sometimes heroes don't wear capes. Sometimes they're just ordinary people who stop and ask, "Are you okay?" A small act of kindness can change someone's entire life. Maybe today someone around you is silently struggling. Maybe all they need is to be noticed. So remember, if you see someone who seems scared, don't just walk past. You might become the hero in someone else's story.